Whoop, whoop. What's up, Bearcats? It's Hump Day, so you know what that means. It's time for the HMG AEW Dynamite Watch Long and Belt Count, pal. Yeet. So we got Lab Rat already in the house with us. What's up, pal? Good to see you. Whoop, whoop. Hope your Hump Day's been a good one, pal. We're just getting through the overrun of Big Bang Theory because I finally discovered that I can actually watch it on my TV. So we're doing it here, pal. No Donnies, no buffers. It's a straight, clean show tonight. Yeah, we're here. We're hanging. We're chilling. Hey, what's up, Radio Big Radio Face? Good to see you, pal. Whoop, whoop. Always good to see you, man. Hope all is well with you. Yeet. Oh, nice. Nice. Wonder how he was. I never saw him play hoops. Yeah, give me the No Limit Soldiers, pal. Hooty hoo. Cause I hate rap. Oof. Rough. Dude, he just straight up took a, oh yeah, bell count. I'm going 11. We're already at 3. What's your bell count, pal? Yeah, this is 3 right here. The trios. See, I'm gonna go 12. I'm gonna go 12. What you guys got? Whoop whoop. Rowdy, rowdy, and bout it, bout it. Isn't that Conan's line? Yeah, I know, for real. What was up with that? Nine belts, nice. Yeah, Hendry had a better reaction. Yeah, it might be on TBS, but it ain't WCW, pal. Oh, Marina Shafir is the distraction while they get jumped from behind. Yeah, who didn't see that coming? They're actually having Masterpiece step to Moxley. I can't help but laugh at these punches by Master P that he's throwing at Moxley while he's locked in the rear naked choke by Joe. And then here come the Young Bucks and the Okada, the Elite, to help out the Death Riders. Yeah, those were great punches, pal. All right, now we got all these like different worlds coming together. Whoop whoop.
I will say this, John Moxley, you wanted me, now you have me. I'm gonna beat your ass, choke you out, and ladies and gentlemen, I'll be taking back my AEW championship. Will we be seeing a second race for Samoa Joe AEW World Championship? Most certainly confident. But as I spotted in that up, did you see the sly look on Swerve face when Joe made that proclamation? No, you're right, Ian. I definitely saw that look for sure. But Joe both is here.
I wouldn't really call us a faction as much as an alliance, because they got issues with the Death Riders and the Elite. Four belts.
Well, actually, the congratulations should go over here to me. So I think you'd agree with me, Nick. If it wasn't for your father, the patriarch, you wouldn't be standing here as the Ring of Honor television champion. Because I'm the one that forced you this past month to step out of your shell, to find yourself, to spread your wings, to truly become what it is that I've always known you to be. The prodigy. We're all proud of you, Nick. We all celebrated. In fact, your mother and I celebrated your victory extensively later that night. You see what happens, Nick? When you listen, when you shut your mouth, when you open your ears, and you actually listen to me, good things happen. And I always tell the truth, don't I? When you see what happens when you stick to the plan, you actually win championships. I love my family. Wayne.
Okay, that was kind of awkward. In fact, let's get. I haven't checked out to Facebook yet, pal. Whoop whoop. Yeah, that would be a compelling angle. The thing is that all the woke marks would get pissed off about it and be like, just promoting a beard. It's a fucking storyline, you woke ass marks. It's an angle. Nobody's gotten hurt.
Equally, and Mark Briscoe diversifying his business again. Said he was buying some fruit, going to the flea market, and definitely been attracted for the chicken farm. You got to get gas too for tractor. That's right. Briscoe, he's all about falling and just beating people up on Wednesday nights. That's what he does. Yes, he does do that. Absolutely, that's true. It's also his youngest son Jay's birthday today. We want to wish happy first birthday to Jay. Obviously, we'll name it honor.
Yeah, for real, pal. Whoop whoop.
I think sometimes people are a little bit too rough on Ricochet, and he's under a lot of pressure, Ricochet. I think people get a lot of, too much. It's not too much. So 2 weeks ago, Briscoe came in for some of the money, but it was Ricochet. Ricochet with those right hands. Hammer thrown into the ropes for the first one. Ricochet looking for a strip. Briscoe up for away. That's tough to play for both of you with the experience. Your name, Mexico, you name it. Briscoe incorporates Ricochet with that shot. Put a rose in there. So it's Ricochet.
Why do they want tables, pal? We get like his first match on the show. Like, what the fuck? Whoop whoop. Man, there's not a lot to get excited about this match. Like, how many times have we seen this stuff?
Ricochet on the outside now. Returning his opponent to the ring. Ricochet in trouble. Briscoe line up for us too. Check out. One of the division athletes, Ricochet. Really is. He can take a lot of punishment, a lot of experience, high level experience. Briscoe no texture. Let that hold it. Briscoe might a little bit more hand stubble than Ricochet has. I think Mark Briscoe maintains that hairstyle out of shorts. Necessary. Yes. No comment on my procedure here, folks. I didn't really have it. It's my first one now, look at the average width. So the ropes Ricochet puts on the brakes. Big house step. Thrust underneath the jaw, the chin of Ricochet. Turner into the path of Mark Briscoe. Applaud the trucks at Briscoe. Float first into that middle. Ricochet once again using the ring as a weapon, Taz. Yeah, that's the key. Just set an Excalibur and he does it perfectly. That's Ricochet. Briscoe to the phenomenal floor and it's fading so anywhere. This match keeps
Picture in picture, Bal. Which means smoky toky time. Yeet. Wait, so Sonic is doing $1 smash burgers this week? If you get the app, get on the app. Fuck yeah, pal. I'm getting me the Sonic app.
Well, it's really no need for Lucky Charm when you're not America's #1 motorcycle insurance structure, but you're just going to blow this out to call it a lot. It's sweet.
Hey, what's up, Gruss? Good to see you, Bal. It do pretty well. How it do with you? Yeet, yeet. And boom, he's got the Sonic app for them $1 smash burgers. Yeet. Yeah, I know, for real. It's like going back to WCW. Master P. Hooty hoo. Whoop whoop. Hey, what's up, Todd? Good to see you, pal. Hey, yo. Bell Count King in the house. Going for 8. I'm gonna give you a heads up. We are already at 4. We've seen the trios titles and the ROH TV title. I'll deal with that later. Ooh, that sounds tasty, Gruss. All right, got you a 10, pal. Whoop whoop. So we got Lab Rat at 9. And I am at 12. So yeet.
On the shoulder. Able to slip actually. Got up high, the tippy toes.
Nice. Very cool. Congrats, pal. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, not really a whole lot happened.
Somebody about his own admission that is still in the formative years as a singles competitor. Absolutely, just about a year and a half into a singles potential. So I'm certainly exploring what it takes in that cardiovascular timing his breath, timing his movement, trying to keep pace.
Oh yeah, that's right, Todd. I totally forgot about that. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, because the whole thing was, is he going to be cleared to compete at at Rebellion or at Unbreakable? See, they should have played that up more. See, I totally forgot about that. That's a great point, Todd. They should have played that up. Give him more of an out, you know? Protect him a little bit more. Yeah, I don't think he was buried at all. I mean, you can easily tell the story of he was just excited, you know, Orton caught him, RKO out of nowhere. Oh yeah, he was bringing it. He brought it last night on NXT.
At least momentarily. I think it speaks to both these great athletes. We are this deep into the bout, and they are still standing. They're still charging. No one's retreating.
Right. Very, very, very true. Yeah. Plus, it was a win. It was a win-win for everybody, I think. Plus, the rumor I was hearing was, it turns out it was Orton himself who handpicked Hendry. I have not noticed that, so I can't really comment on that.
Taking out his frustrations on Mark Briscoe, who won this match fair and square. It's an embarrassing way to look like that. It's a basic role. And we beat okay, so we see Ricochet trying to pull those other hip attempts time and time again.
You know, and I like what Ricochet's been doing on social media. He's playing his character perfectly and using social media the correct way. Yeah, I did catch that. Yeah, allegedly, but I could also see how it's like, okay, I want to go spend. Okay, I did my part. I did my spot. I want to go spend the rest of the weekend with my friend Sting, which I didn't get to do on Saturday. I'll do my best, pal. Yeah, man. Rest in peace, Steve Mongo McMichael. You don't just stand there drinking coffee when a man's talking to you, David boy.
From Oklahoma. They have to fill the silence. The bathroom code's 9914. Progressive can't protect you from becoming your parents, but we can protect your own auto when you bundle with us.
No, definitely not. To me, that goes to Paul Roma if I had to give it to somebody. I want to say it was Pepe.
Are you ready for the ultimate entertainment experience? Spectrum is bringing together
Nice.
plus and news all in one place across your devices. So no matter when,
Not in the Four Horsemen. Not in the Four Horsemen.
For my pubic area, I choose the Venus Pubic Razor, made for coarse hair and thin skin, with an irritation defense guard to help protect my skin, or a shave with almost no redness and bumps. Get a shave made for your skin. My skin, my way. Venus.
I can get the exact same brand of contacts from 1-800 Contacts that I can get from my eye doctor.
Right now, you can save 25% on your first order, plus fast free shipping right to your door.
this is Odious, a collaboration between Armorall and Oracle Records. Precision
Podium series, engineered for exceptional results.
Whoop, whoop. Commercial break time, pal.
Moisturizing body wash that locks in 4 times the moisturizers of your old body wash.
Wow, what is half the ingredients?
Heavenly. Clean moisturizing body wash isn't a myth. It's native.
HMG. It is our job to keep it locked in. Free line from mystery.
Okay.
I like your attitude.
Get me the librarians, pal.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ring.
It's
Tony Schiavone. Yes. There's been a change of plans. They are living legends. 10-time World Tag Team Champions, New Orleans. Give it Team. Oh.
All right, I like Stokely Hathaway being the mouthpiece for FTR. I like that. I think that'll work. I'm with it. Yeah, so did I. Where's he been? Like, he's one of the best promo guys they got in that company. How are you gonna leave him off TV? No idea. Hopefully they explain it.
Someone and touching Tony Schiavone.
As they should be. That dude is screaming passionate, pal. Dude, this drunk dude screaming at Stokely is fantastic. Oh, dude, Stokely's like listing off like legit crimes people have committed on AEW TV, which I think is brilliant. Hey, what's up, Nelson Council? Good to see you, pal. Whoop whoop. That could be a good one, pal. It's going well. How you doing, Yeet?
This is all played out. And moving forward, if you want to have a conversation with these guys, then you need to have. And you heard that right, because as of today, Stokely Hathaway is the new agent for the greatest tag team alive today, FTR.
All right, so they did explain it. They acquired his services as an agent earlier that day.
First of all, thank you. I'm talking here. Danny made his own decision. Don't forget, it was 2.0. They got in front of our face. It was 2.0. They came to us. It was 2.0.
That's what you did there, pal.
If you want to fight, you better be ready. Was ready to fight. But out of respect for you, Danny, when you asked us to stop, we stopped. We pinned him 1, 2, 3 because you were our friend, Danny. And then you're going to treat us like that? You're going to turn your back. Don't forget, you came to us for help when every other veteran left you high and dry and directionless. We got you to the TNT title. And we put Danny Garcia first. We put Adam Copeland first. We put AEW first. And that got us nothing but disrespect. No more. It's FTR first from now on. And you're going to boo us for that. Hey. What's with the hostility? Relax. All right, speaking of living legends, we have a couple of legends in the house with us right now. Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, I remember that. Ooh, I remember. Get me Rock and Roll Express, pal.
Let's go, boys. We got TV time. Come on. All time, Ricky Robert. Great.
That'd be interesting if he had the rock and roll turn heel.
Absolute legends 11 times over, recognized as World Tag Team Champions. Ricky Martin in the ring. Embrace the cashier, Rob Gibson. Hey guys, listen, we only get a little bit of time, and this is about us. You didn't cheer our name.
They say the heart of rock and roll is still beating.
Teams of all time, Rock and Roll Express. They had some of the great.
Yeah, I think it's going to lead to probably a beatdown.
What do you think? Come here. This is hard, Cam. Come here. What would you say is your greatest match ever? Well, if it was up to me, I would say Philadelphia, your greatest match. Philadelphia with the Midnight Express. And if we're being honest here, no shade to you guys. The Midnight Express was better than Rock and Roll Express. We're here tonight to talk about the Rock and Roll Express. 40 years of the Rock.
Yeah, they are short. Like, damn, they're shorter than.
How old are you guys? Well, if I was judging by looks alone, I would say you're about 108, 109 years old. Being 108 years old means you're running hard in the 80s, if you know what I mean. What would you say was your favorite experience in the 80s? Well, stop this right now. You're not.
Ooh, here. Ooh, I think I'm picking up what you're putting down, Lab Rat. This is going to lead to an Outrunners run-in, pal. Hey, what's up, Scott Woodford? Good to see you, pal. It's been an all right show. Yeah, I could imagine, dude. I could imagine with your weekend, man. I was looking at your posts and your pictures, man, dude. Yeah, you had an experience, pal. Five belts.
And have it your way. Get two of your tapes. It's up to you. Just figure it out. Hit the drive-through.
Yeah, I mean, it's as far as Dynamite goes, it's not been a bad Dynamite. I mean, it's been a night show. See, yeah, for real, pal. A jar of mayonnaise runs in for the save. I've not had a chance to catch that yet, unfortunately, Scott. I apologize.
Hey, pal. You know who's
Hey, we got a run in. It's RBV in the house. Whoop whoop.
Make them say ha ha. I mean. What's up, brother?
Not much, man. How you doing, pal?
Doing all right, man. Don't know if I'll bake it the entire time. You caught me coming in, man. I just threw my sweats on, but I said, hey, man. Hey, I'm already digging the show. Didn't leave you hanging here. Good company from watching WrestleMania together. But yeah, man. You and the crowd there. comments, rocking over in the chat. Everybody enjoying it so far. I don't know if it's just middle-aged cracker me from the Midwest, but I enjoyed the Master P stuff. I know he's getting a lot of heat out there. You know,
I caught your post earlier. Yeah, like he's out there for a good cause. I mean, I could
right. Leave it to freaking internet wrestling fans to take issue with a dude in his hometown promoting a youth sports charity. Way to go, internet wrestling fans. Way to go. Bravo once again.
I mean, I can agree. Yeah, the actual segment was pretty cringe, but at the same time, I'm not going to shit on it. It's for the right reasons.
What was so bad about it? I mean, we've lived through, you know, all this Travis Scott shit this week where, you know, we talked about it over in the live, and make sure you are joining us for especially those premium WWE premium live. We're going to try to get a little party going each and every time. But you know, we talked about it. How much would that arena in Vegas exploded had Flavor Flav hopped that rail to stop Travis Scott to save Cody, man? But please, we would be talking about one of the greatest WrestleManias ever instead of the way we're talking right now.
Yeah, Flavor Flav would have hopped that rail, pal. Damn.
Hey, you know, go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Would have blown the roof off the place, pal.
I hit a light here next. I was wondering why I was a little dark here. I forgot one of my lights, but you know, another thing with Master P here, a lot of people forget. I mean, this is a guy who genuinely loves professional. He owns House of Glory.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and you got to wonder if there's some conversation in the back. What's WWE doing right now, man? They're claiming all the real estate in the wrestling kingdom. Yeah, we've got the ID program. We've got the purchase of AAA, the rumblings of maybe New Japan. This might be something, you know, we're a partnership on an indie level for All Elite Wrestling.
Yeah, I've always kind of had the theory that Triple H, he kind of wants to do what Vince did, but surpass him while doing it. Like what Vince did in the territories in America, Triple H wants to do on a global scale.
Yeah, if that had existed and those opportunities had been there for Vince, he probably would have done that. I think Vince's strategy would have been a little different to just go in there in today's age and try to take those markets, which we've seen WWE try under Vince's regime, where he was listening to kind of we sell it as a Triple H concept where he wanted those different NXTs and they kind of bombed out. I think this is the smart move, and not necessarily. This is again Triple H relying on a much bigger entity, you know, with the new parent company, whatever the hell they are now. What is it? MWE?
Yeah, MWE.
Yeah, I know it's those three letters. I just can't remember the order of the acronym, but yeah, MWE.
Or WME, sorry, WME.
Yeah, it's no. What is it? Is it WME
yeah,
or
WME.
MEW? So everyone knows what the hell we're talking about. I just know in there's a W for wrestling and the ME for Middle East. That's what I always keep in my head because that's eventually who's going to own all this shit.
Want to shout out Jay Hall in the house. What's up, pal? Good to see you. Whoop whoop. So now we got the Young Bucks against Kevin Knight and Speedball. Two prospects that kind of got away a little bit from TNA into AEW, which could actually be kind of beneficial.
I'm going to say here, you know, just a typical. You got two hot young properties coming in here with Mr. Knight and Speedball, and lo and behold, guess who's hitching to that wagon, bringing their wagon, hitching to these young ponies right here. It's the Young Bucks.
Yeah, the not so young Bucks.
We'll see what we get here. But so you didn't like the open, huh? I thought it was all right with everything. Yeah, it was. So he got some good celebrity involvement. Got a big pop from the crowd. They had a little fun.
Yeah, it just did. To me, it felt a little bit cringe, but at the same time, it's like it's for a good cause. I'm not gonna, you know, and
don't forget. Then you gotta love the perfect transition. We go from a '90s rapper to an '80s tag team.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Again, I mark it out for that, man. Who the hell does not love the Rock and Roll Express? So anytime you could see them. I guess. Go ahead, man.
Are they still wrestling?
Yeah, they're still in rounds. Ricky Morton's still regularly. He's got the School of Morton program. That he still makes some spots for the different NWA promotions, things like that. Ricky's son Kerry is doing really, really well. They tag team together quite a bit. They actually this past summer worked program with the old promotion I worked for. My friends down at the Professional Wrestling Alliance. They were down at the Swiss Wine Fest for them. Little fun story with myself and Ricky Morton, share with everybody. First time I had met him, I was doing a spot with Battle on the Border Pro Wrestling here out of Southern Ohio. And I was Mr. Morton's handler, meaning when he showed up to the venue, I was the one there on behalf of management to meet him, make sure, showed him where his dressing area was at, see if he needed anything, just really cater to him, to make him feel really welcome with the promotion. And, he drove himself up from Nashville. That's the area that they live in. So he drove up here to Cincinnati, and I greet him out there, and I get him set and all this. I make sure he's got some water and all that, and knows what's going on in the venue. Take him around and introduce him to some of the young guys and girls. And I knew he was going to show up hungry, so I had a few things in place. I was going to take him out, treat him. Hey brother, where can I get a good burger? I got you, man. I've got you. I'll take you out. I already had set up because I heard he was a burger guy, and about a half mile from the venue, I actually have, who was one of my big sponsors at the time, extended family of mine, Gourmet Burgers, some of the best in Cincinnati at Chandler's Burger Bistro. I'm going to take him over there. And he's so humble down there. If he was like, I got to be honest with you, man. I'm just more of like a fucking Burger King guy. Can we just go get some food? So I was going to go take him, get him a look at Gourmet Burger, whatever he wanted was going to be on me. And we ended up just getting a couple Whopper Juniors, and that was it. Great job getting to know him and getting to talk to him, though.
That's awesome, man. Although to be fair, if you get a fresh off the broiler Burger King burger, they're pretty delish.
After I Like It Raw, man, shout out, man. It's so good to be on the air again with Jargo. We had a phone call. We were talking about that, and he had ordered some Burger King. And you're right, man. You get that craving, that flame broiled craving every now and then, and it hits the freaking spot.
Yeah, I remember I used to work at Burger King, like how we would. This is, I think it's like 0405, and I remember like we actually had a freezer at the end of the broiler that had all the burger pads. You pick up, like get the tongs, put it at the end of the broiler, and just let it, like it was an actual like frame conveyor belt broiler. Yep.
Yeah, that machine, that broiler is pretty crazy. You ever get to watch, anybody out there gets to watch the documentary, The Food That Built America, watch the Burger Wars between Burger King and McDonald's. And they take you through like how they came up with that damn thing. And a little fun trivia, hashtag RBV top fun trivia, that the Whopper was a signature sandwich before the Big Mac. The Big Mac was the answer to the Whopper because it actually, they feared it in the marketplace. Got a good group over there in the chat. Again, thanks everybody for sticking with HMG over the WrestleMania weekend. We had a lot of hours logged all the way up to I Like It Raw yesterday, man. It was awesome to see all the live chat. And hell, this morning with the NXT, we're just growing in numbers, man. And it's because of the Army out there sharing all the material, the links, let people know when the shows are on. Oh, we got a little picture-in-picture. I didn't even realize that. I kept looking up and just seen the commercial. So I know this match was advertised from last week. We had the open with the Ops, Master P, Swerve. Who else do we have in there?
Kenny Omega,
yeah. I forgot about the Omega versus the Death Riders and the Elite. What else we got advertised for tonight? Anything big in the ladies? Do we have any qualifiers or anything?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think Megan Bain might be doing something. I don't know anything else beyond
Megasis. That. Is she like the perfect woman, an absolute goddess, and she doesn't talk?
Yeah, she needs somebody to do her talking for her.
I don't know if she's too bad. I've heard her cut promos in OVW when she was down there. Last time I saw her down was just pre the shutdown. And she actually managed her for a little bit before she had an injury and then went over to Japan. She was working in a faction with Ben and Greek god Papadon.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah, they ran a couple months, maybe even I know it was at least 6 months, but maybe up to a year up in upstate New York. And then she had some kind of injury, and then when she came back from it, she just went to she went over to Japan for her tenure there.
Nice. And good for her.
Usually here on Dynamite, I like the first high octane match that they give us of the night. It's just then after it begins to wear thin.
Yeah, and it just becomes like
There we
draining.
Go. Statlander and Jamie Hayter, that should be a decent one. Do you think not Hayter, but Statlander, man? I still think her build is what I like, but it seems like she's kind of let herself go. She's getting a little soft. She's not as firm. Like just because they're bringing in some other girls of her stature and she just can't cut it, but it seems like she's falling off a little bit.
Yeah, I've definitely kind of gotten that vibe too.
Well, hey there, Mr. Impact. Did you guys do Impact Tech Monday or Tuesday?
Monday.
So you didn't get to talk about it, man. What was your thoughts on? Of course, I know what everybody. Oh, TNA's buried. Oh, Joe looks terrible. Would you feel about Joe Henry going out there against Obi on NXT?
I liked it. I think we might end up seeing a title versus title match.
You think so? Wow. Okay. Where does that go down at? Does that go at the next NXT? Are they going to use that? Are they going to take that one? Because TNA's got one coming up relatively close, like next Sunday, right? Or next weekend?
Yeah, Rebellion. And that main event's already a 3-way between Hendry, Kazarian, and Ethan Page.
So we got Ethan Page doing some cross work as well.
Yep.
Okay. You could do some stuff there.
Yeah, his whole thing is I used to be part of TNA, but I'm in NXT now, so I'm taking the TNA title home to NXT.
Well, I'm just trying to think, where we could get a little wild and keep these gears intertwining with one another. Maybe Trick Williams interferes into that. He's kind of pissed off now, especially that Henry stuck his nose where it didn't belong there. He gets kicked out of NXT. Maybe he shows up at TNA at the pay-per-view.
That would work. I can see that.
Gruss bring up a good point. Those NXT guys are going to beat Henry down. Now, Gruss, are you saying that just because the way we have seen the booking in that program so far, or is it because of the visuals? Because Henry didn't quite stack up stature-wise in there with Trick and especially with Obi.
Yeah, that height does. Yeah, that is kind of a bit of a problem. Like, he's not a small dude. It's just when you put him in there with those guys, it's like they're bigger than he is. Or at least when it comes to Trick, Joe's a little bit more built and he's got more. I would say
you're hard pressed to find anybody in this business stature wise that's going to measure up to Obi in there.
Yeah, I would say like at least when it comes to Hendry and Trick, at least Hendry's more. He looks like even though Trick's taller, it looks like Hendry has more mass to him.
Double roundhouse there by one of the Bucks and Speedball, both connecting. That was kind of cool. Kind of like both of them just landing those big haymakers on each other, except they did it with the kicks there. I don't even remember which Buck is which Buck anymore, to tell you the truth. All right, I like that. That was a good spot. I like that.
Yeah, there is an interview where Henry talked about how he had a conversation with Cena at the Royal Rumble, and he said, how do we make this match happen? And Cena says, it's up to you to generate enough interest to make it happen.
Yeah, so it's pretty much like Cena. Like, I don't feel like doing anything for you, dude. Cena did mention on the Pat McAfee show, he put over that he talked to Joe Henry and nothing but praise there for the TNA champ. Uh-oh, we got a game of chicken. Marco. Polo. Wait a minute, they got the wrong guys on their shoulders. I just realized that, too.
Well, at least the guys on the bottom are trying to fight each other too. Like he had the one young guy trying to rake Bailey's eyes.
This isn't too bad. Oh! Into that double knee backbreaker. I don't know, though. You look at this crowd, though. You think they'd be up on their feet for something like this, or you'd hope they'd be.
Yeah, it's like crowd goes mild, pal. It's like sitting there like, eh.
I'm liking a number of the high spots of this match. Springboard in, springboard moonsault out. That was pretty unique.
That is a unique spot. Damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm ahead of you here. I'll let you pop and then we'll talk.
I mean, for like 3 seconds. Yeah, it's just the whole thing with the signal reaches differently. Like I remember one time, me and people in the house would be watching the same thing, yet even in the same house, they'd be in different spots on the TV, or depending on which TV that's on.
Right. All right, Double or Nothing coming up here, a couple weeks away. What do we got here? Some kind of, ooh, some dork with his face painted there in the front row. All right, Bucks, both in the ring. Here's Speedball.
Same way I like my barbecue sauce, Deucey.
Oh, you get an outside Meltzer driver here? So I could totally miss it, but okay.
I think didn't they rename it to the TK driver?
Did they?
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because they hit it on TK, and that's when they renamed it.
Yeah, you're right. Big double DDT on the Bucks. Could that be lights out from Knight? Oh, he was going for that big springboard hoop. Ricochet again?
Oh, yeah, because they had that thing earlier, I think.
Yeah, well, still a little sore. Hey, that was a big. I was pleasantly surprised there to see Briscoe picking up a big W over there over Ricochet, and enough to get it done for the Bucks. I'm gonna go across. So yeah, a lot of the spots there popped me. I probably would have gone a little shorter. Maybe I would have liked seeing a round 2 of these guys, maybe on a little bigger stage. So save some of that. Just give me enough of that cock tease on TV, and let's go round 2 somewhere else down the line on a big one or a special. Got Miss Storm here. You have to tell me what she says. I don't have my sound on. Probably something about tits and her
6 belts.
Oh, she's measuring up the competition, huh?
And why shouldn't I? These are the preeminent individuals in our entire industry. The ladies, good luck. Pound your flesh, rip your tits, but don't you dare get any blood on my pearls. And remember, you are now watching your feature presentation. Actually, speaking of feature presentation this weekend in Hollywood, you're going to be appearing on the red carpet.
Talking about get your tits out, but don't get any blood on my pearls.
All right. Always got to mention them tits, although she has none.
And I'm not just going to spend the entire weekend cucking around, so before I can mental it, I have an idea.
Have Anita in the house.
Performance. So if there's any
Kind of like that backdrop, the classic indie wrestling dog kennel steel cage.
let's make
All right, so it looks like Queen Aminata has challenged Tony, and she's like, all right, I'm in.
Were they going to set that up for Collision?
I would have to guess so, because it looks like they're doing like an eliminator thing.
Seemed like a fun Collision match. Just a reminder for everyone, I do believe Collision will be altered. Their time will be altered this week. I do like how they're just not moving the shows. Obviously, it's smart reasons, and they're just getting bumped for bigger programming. But they're playing into the themes. So, like, they're going live right after, or they're not, maybe not live, but they're airing right after this weekend's NBA games. And they got some kind of theme with it, like Playoff Palooza or something like that. I think they're – so you got, you're sharing a network with that carries NBA and NHL games.
Right, it's like right in the middle of the NHL and NBA playoffs.
Right. So at least, they're using those themes. It'd be nice to see maybe a little more involvement, some representation at the games. Let the network give you a little rub. Maybe run-ins on pregame, intermission, post-game shows, spottings in the arenas, things like that.
Yep. Why wouldn't you? And that's 8 belts.
All right, here's arguably the best thing going in professional wrestling right now. The Hurt Syndicate. Always looking sharp. Well, we got an official announcement out here, you can say?
Whoop.
We're so good at hurting people that every single tag team we faced for the AEW tag team titles, they haven't been back. They're all convalescing from their injuries. And through the gates of agony, they stepped up and they like to be hurt. It's a silly thing to say. They're two of the most dangerous men on the planet. So we obliged them. We hurt them. You won't be seeing the gates of agony in the near future, but perhaps in the future you will, because they are some hungry young lions, impressive, but now is not their time. Right now.
And there's this dude in the crowd who's just been yelling and screaming, who's been entertaining.
So I was kind of just listening through your speaker. So he was just kind of putting them over who they beat up so far, correct?
Yep, yeah. Their last defense was against the Gates of Agony, and he said, like, yeah, we beat you up too, but, and put him over.
You know what? I am not feeling this program here. It's always some rinse and repeat stuff here with Max. Him trying to get a little group so he can get ahead. Then he turns on the group. You got all this going on. It's just trying to buy his way into these guys' approval. I mean, some of it's been entertaining and it's worth watching just in a grand scheme. I would hope that they have something else for the Hurt Syndicate that instead of being occupied into this situation here or whatever the hell's going on. Almost even playing a second fiddle, if you will.
Yeah, if they go with them as a solidified, unified group, that'd be one thing. So you can actually do stuff with
I don't know. I don't even like the pairing. Maybe that's just a personal thing with me. I just. Just leave it to a Jewish businessman to try to exploit the black.
If you want to get involved, let's see. There's a question I've always wanted. I like to throw out there, but it's too little bit hot. I don't want to get us in trouble.
Dude, I remember perfectly what I had for breakfast this morning. I had ribs. I had fried chicken yesterday for breakfast and ribs today. Sheldon, thumbs up. Got that Rolex. You got them snow bunnies.
Let's make something real clear. I didn't give you a thumbs up because of a bunch of broads. Watch. The only.
But you should have.
Yeah. It don't matter. He got his thumbs up. Doesn't matter why or how. On MJF thinking he knows what way this might be going, so he's making one final plea here.
Eye for an eye.
All the money, the power, the respect, all the gold in the world. Yes, Bob, you bring a lot to the table. But with all due respect, there are some things that I bring to the table that you don't. I know this place better than anybody. I know how to cut corners better than anybody. That's a shoot. I know how to win by any means necessary better than anybody. You let me in the syndicate? We don't just run AEW, we run professional wrestling, huh? Now, I know we got off on the wrong foot, and for being honest here, it's not my fault. But, I'm willing to admit, because I'm salt of the earth, I've been a little bit prickly towards you with the rejection. So I want you to know, I'm going to tell you something from the bottom of my heart. It's 2 words I've never said before. Bob, from the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry. What I'm saying is, Bob.
Yeah. Very emotional here. Very emotional.
Say you're sorry.
I was really hoping he was going to tell him that he loved him.
Bob, I'm sorry.
Remember on Happy Days, whenever the Fonz struggled to apologize?
I actually do remember that episode.
I'm so.
Does Bob even fit in that car?
That car is yours.
That's a good question. I don't know if he could fit in that car.
Brantley looking for a new moniker is no longer the Comment King. I had seen, I think, was it Zane that claimed that he is the new comment king? I got to get up to speed. I think I missed that week of programming, man. I don't know how the crown, how the title, and the championship exchanged hands. I would just go totally rogue, man. Do the 180 villain fi and just become the comment killer.
Hey, Mr. C. Oh no, you're good, bro. Well, I mean, that's the name I use on here. LG Brandon Whoop Whoop. I mean, it's kind of in there. No, but seriously though,
it was a passing of the torch, kind of a Harley Race S with Haku. Well, all right. So, what's higher than a king? You can become the comment god. That seems a little easy. We got to think of maybe we go with the Greek mythology. We find something in there that can play into the comments.
We still have so much more dynamite to come tonight, including a huge tag team match.
Try to think of something from Olympus or something like that. An ace is higher. Oh, you guys are talking cards. I was talking about royalty. He'd be the Sultan of Statements. The SOS.
he got the thumbs down and he drove off anyway, pal.
I like that Sultan thing, but maybe not of statements. Maybe like the Sultan of swag, the Sultan of sarcasm. Well, since he gave the thumbs down, he technically didn't give him the car. Is that Grand Theft Auto?
Well, I think MVP kind of talked him down there as they're going to commercial.
I was just going to say, but it's not probably regular. They probably don't even care about it down there. If you get that emergency call to the New Orleans police, attention, we've got 2 black suspects, stolen vehicle. Yeah, right, bro. That's like the 10th time this hour we've got that call.
Now, I do kind of like where they're going with it. Like they're not rushing it. And MVP keeps telling MJF, like, you got to find what you want, or you got to find what your consumer wants, and what they actually want, and give it to them. So basically, he's saying you're missing the mark. Keep trying.
Hey, you know what? If I'm the Hurt gang there, the Hurt syndicate, just keep riding it out. They keep getting shit everywhere. They got the rods, they got the Rolexes. Now they just got a car. What else can they get off of him?
Yeah, no work. Yeah, that's a direction they could go with that. Work them like a mark.
Just a couple houses next week. A Boar's Head commercial.
Give me the Boar's Head.
There a couple of months ago when Boar's Head about killed all those people.
I never heard that.
What?
About the Boar's Head?
They had a massive recall, man. It was like a dozen people die or something.
Oh, damn.
Well, while we do have commercials, I'm going to go refill my beverage, and I will be right back.
All right. Sounds good, pal. Commercial break time. He's just going on X-Land, pal. And we are still at 8 belts, I believe. And we're back, pal.
Against Josh Alexander. Now next week, Norfolk, Virginia, the semifinals of the Owen Hart Foundation tournament. You're facing Kyle Fletcher. He viciously attacked you after your match last week. How are things going to go?
The moment that I see Kyle Fletcher, I'm going to play his ass, and you're going to lose that somebody wants to get in here. So get your ass in. Why would I compliment you on your new haircut? I love that it makes it look like you met your wife at a family reunion. Max, you have not changed anything about yourself since you were 12 years old, have you? Look, I'm in the middle of an interview with Renee right now, so unless you have something of substance to add, if I were you, I'd go ahead and get in my car and, it's the joke man, Adam Page. Grace, I have a joke for you. Guy enters the Owen Hart Cup tournament only to then watch MJF stroll on in through the back door with the Hurt Syndicate to reclaim what is rightfully his and becoming. Like you know anything about the back door. Your whole plan is to join Hurt Syndicate. I don't understand how that gets you an inch closer to the World Championship, but I guess after I beat your ass at Revolution, you'll have to figure out something because you know you can't win matches and you can't hang with me in the Owen. First of all, of course you don't understand my intentions with the Hurt Syndicate. You're an idiot. Second of all, you want to act all high and mighty because you beat me? Last time I picked.
Yeah, whatever happened to the whole Jeff Jarrett storyline of him wanting to win the world title before his final contract's up?
You know, it seemed like that was getting some decent ratings. I know I was into it. It was just old school. But you are right, man. It was very rare. For better or worse, usually Tony will try to see things through, but he just dropped that one out of nowhere, didn't he?
Yep.
I mean, that just disappeared. We really haven't seen Jarrett since then at all, have we?
No, not since he got beat by MJF, I think. Or supposed to be a match between him and MJF, then turned into MJF and Dustin, and then he disappeared after that.
When he beat down Dustin and then just moved on to the Hangman stuff. Well, RBV eats out my favorite snack. I just do whole sticks of pepperoni, man. I just eat them like bananas. Fuck slicing them.
Get some cocks of pepperoni.
I love it.
You ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
You know what? I haven't. I know you've been watching a lot of it in the watch-alongs and that.
That's one of the traits of one of the characters. His whole thing is he buys pepperoni like by the stick and eats it by the stick.
Oh shit!
And he calls it cocks of pepperoni.
All right, I'm a cocks of pepperoni guy myself then. No, I think back to the Jarrett, there was some intrigue there. I mean, the numbers looked like they were pretty good for that.
And plus, that could have been a good payoff for a storyline. Like, as the veteran, Jeff Jarrett gets that one last title to honor his friend Owen Hart, and then first defense, he drops it quickly.
No, I had a question.
Over.
I've been meaning to send in for the Jeff Jarrett podcast because I've never heard him speak to this. Especially him is who I'm interested, but I've never really heard anyone talk about this. Is obviously, late great Owen Hart. There's always conversation about what could have been in WWE. Would he have been eventually gotten that top championship run? What would that look like? What could have some of those matches with the future generations look like? To me, I always thought Owen would have been an individual that would have jumped to TNA wrestling, and what, pun intended, what kind of impact that would have had for that company. In addition to some of them already going over. All right, Mr. Impact, another question here for you. Last week was a little bit of a lesser extent, as less people saw it. But another freak out moment from a TNA talent saying he was already buried, ruined, losing in his opener. Josh Alexander, what kind of hopes do you have? You've seen a lot more than him than I have. I know the weapon, people are really excited about him. Though he's a hell of a technical wrestler. I'm not anywhere quite sold on the hype yet. And it had nothing to do with the loss last week. Even going into that, I wasn't really overly impressed about him being, that a next level top guy.
As far as personality and character goes, I think he's much better as a heel. Like I thought he started showing some really good like singles heel tendencies or being the leader of a group towards the end of his TNA run. But then, that immediately got cut off and he was gone. But other than that, he's always came across as pretty bland.
So he just struggled. It was that cookie cutter baby face.
Yeah, like he comes across like try to be like a Canadian, like a cross between Chris Benoit and a Canadian Kurt Angle.
Okay. So you think this pairing here with him and the Callis family, is it going to be a positive for him?
I think it could be at this point in his career because while I think he does have, much more character and personality and better mic skills as a heel, I think being under the tutelage of Don Callis, that would only help him improve that.
And another thing, when you sign these people, you bring them in, a lot of times, there's some great talent, but that piece has to fit the puzzle. And there's a lot going on in AEW to see where he would fit in at.
Yeah, to say there's a lot of moving parts going on in AEW would be an understatement. Like how many is it? Like 180 people under contract, like wrestlers between ROH and AEW.
Yeah, we regularly hear that, but I mean, is that really that absurd? Like even in comparison, when you look at NXT, Raw, SmackDown with what they've got.
I mean, it's not that crazy, but at least they do a much better job of splitting up and like keeping talent exclusive to one show.
I think with Alexander, I would have liked to see. He's getting hammered here by the big dog. But I think a gimmick with him, if he would have been like the opposite of what we're used to, what AEW kind of gets beat up for is, too much of the over the top, the high spots, the high flying antics. The gimmick would have just been he's going to ground all those guys into technical style matches, ground and pound. He's going to bring you down to the mat. That might have been something a little different than what everyone else is doing.
I would like that. Like something like, you remember when in TNA, like it was like 2010 with the whole thing with Doug Williams in the X Division, where he like aired his grievances, how he talked about how he hated that style. So he was basically going to take the belt, which he did, and going to basically turn it into like a more ground and grappling, division instead of like the high flying and high spots.
Yeah, something along those lines. That's what kind of popped in my head. I mean, obviously, you look at his look, and I know his background. I've seen matches and all that. Just haven't spent too much time watching him. But when he made the comparison to a Benoit or a Kurt Angle, it just seems like it would be a logical fit for him. West Texas rednecks.
Well, and I know at least half of them are no longer with us.
How many do they have? 5 in that group?
Oh yeah, it was 5, and the 3 I know that are no longer that have passed away are Kurt Hennig, Bobby Duncombe Jr., and Curly Bill, also known as Virgil.
Virgil was in that
at very end.
All right, here I got it too. Here, West Texas rednecks. I was gonna say I didn't remember Curly Bill.
Oh, loved Doug Williams. Yeah, the British invasion was great, and I loved his single stuff afterwards.
Curly Bill. Yeah, the Wyndhams are both still alive.
Yeah, Kendall and Barry.
Oh, I forgot that Virgil just passed away. Yeah. Oh, Curly Bill.
There's a reason they don't call them plane bikes.
What was his name in AEW? Soul Train Jones.
Gas station. You gotta start at the top and work your way down. Want me to do yours next? Somebody from Oklahoma. They have to fill the silence. The bathroom code's 9914. Progressive can't protect you from the cutting events.
Oh, I got Scotty Woodford commenting on my post.
Slow, yeah. About that. And slow's good.
Give me a picture, pal.
Guardians is a once-daily pill proven to.
Yeah, that was a good time in TNA right around there when you had Doug Williams and Nick Aldis with the invasion. Who was the big dog that they had with them? Their big muscle.
Rob Terry.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they did that whole angle where, or what was it? Orlando Jordan was attracted to him and tried to keep, and was grinding up on a cardboard cutout of him.
Who was?
Orlando Jordan.
Oh, yeah. That's when he had the over the top bisexual gimmick going on.
Yep. Yeah, he came down to the ring he was lowered to the ring with wearing nothing but caution tape wrapped all over his body.
You know what? I'm gonna retract my statement there. I liked the British invasion, but I don't know if we could say that was a good time for TNA. There was a lot of weird shit going on.
Well, to be fair, I think that was post British invasion. That was the Hogan era.
Yeah, that's when the Hogan era came in. They were just throwing everything against the wall to see what would stick.
Which really sucks. If you go back and you watch TNA's growth and development from 2007 to 2009, they were on the right track and they were growing. Then the shit went down with Dixie and Jeff. She brought in Hogan and Bischoff, and it all went to shit from there.
I remember the big hype the Monday night when they tried to go against Raw. When they did the live, they were bringing in everybody left and right, and
as one night special, I thought that was a success because they
did they only do it one time, or did they try it for a couple weeks?
They did it one time, and then it turned into a 2-month thing, and then they went back to Thursday nights.
That's what I was trying to remember. I remember the hype around the one night special, and then I thought they were because we had this decent success here, and then they tried to run it out, and it didn't last that long. Because WWE countered that night by bringing in bringing Hitman back.
Yep. And ironically enough, too, that aired the same time you had an in-ring on TNA with Hulk
Big
Hogan.
Man flying. What were you saying?
Yeah, and then on TNA, on the other channel, you had an in-ring segment with Hulk Hogan, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Sean Waltman, Eric Bischoff. And I remember somebody made the comment and wait a minute, is this wrestling in 2010 or have I gone back in time to 1997?
That's
I got these guys on one channel, and on the other channel, I got Brett and Sean.
Yeah, because also I know on that night, who else we have show up? We had I know we had Hardy show up, Jeff showed up, Rob Bam Bam showed up.
I think he was later.
Was that a later one? I thought they all were in the same night.
Yeah, I know we had Flair show up that night, but he didn't really do anything. He just kind of introduced himself.
He literally just showed up. Didn't he just get out of a limo and walk around or something like that?
Yeah, and then he walked around, rings, and he kind of sat ringside during the AJ angle match, and that was really about it. Or he went into AJ Styles' locker room, I should say. Sorry.
Well, didn't they open up? Didn't Hardy win the was that, what did they call that? The Asylum match, or that big dome thing that they had? It just had the little hole at the top.
Yeah, that was the worst way they could have kicked off that show, and really that was more of a logistics, planning, execution than creative idea, because they had the whole Asylum match, and they booked Homicide to win it. The problem was Homicide didn't have the upper body strength to actually physically meet the criteria to win the match, which is you got to climb up this dome cage where you're climbing up, and then you got to do like a kind of like a monkey crawl thing while hanging upside down, and then throw yourself through this little tiny hole and get yourself over that. Unfortunately, Homicide was not really the guy who had the...
Really? I just assumed that they would go with Hardy just for the name value of trying to go big time that night to look like a major player. I mean, nothing against Homicide. I love the guy. Just wrapped up his career. I know he's got some major health issues. Wish the best of luck for him. Hope he has a long, enjoyable life ahead of him. But honestly, especially back then, I mean, your general audience had no idea who the hell he is. They tune in and they see Hardy. They know that guy. They're going to stick around for that guy.
Here's the thing, Hardy wasn't even in that match. He actually was supposed to do a run-in at the end of the match and attack Homicide, but because Homicide couldn't get through the thing and actually win the match like he was, like he was booked, ended up turning into a DQ where he whipped out a crowbar, started hitting everybody in the match. And that was when Jeff Hardy ran in, attacked him, and then did the thing.
Okay. I remember the visual.
I think another one I think you know the one you're thinking of, where Jeff Hardy sit on top of the cage, like he's like he's sitting down. Yeah, he's got his hands on his on his elbows on his knees, and he's bobbing his head up and down.
Maybe that's it. It was a long time ago and a lot of bottles of whiskey ago. You might blowing me up. This match is going a long time.
Yeah, and for no reason either. It's just like a showcase between some of the guys that are still in the Owen Hart, or no, they're not.
Ospreay is.
Ospreay is. Takeshita is, but Alexander and Brody King I don't think are anymore.
Yeah, they're out. I think they're just there. Alexander's there as a new member just to get a showcase here of the Callis family.
And Brody King is there as backup for Ospreay.
And Brody's just a buddy of Ospreay. What the hell is Ospreay? Obviously, he's laid out somewhere. I don't even see him laying around down there.
I think he's on the floor somewhere.
Well, obviously, he's got to be somewhere around there.
All right, later, Todd. Always a pleasure hanging with you, pal. Whoop, whoop. And F down Callis, bruv. Yeet.
Bradley, see you, buddy. Have a good night's sleep, man. Have a good one. We'll see you next time around. There we go. You don't see that often with those guys picking up wins anymore.
No.
So did they just drop the Murder Hawk and Cage, or is he out or something? It's funny. I watched this weekly, and I have trouble retaining shit from AEW.
Well, I think Murder Hawk actually came out with them during this match and then got thrown out. Oh yeah, he's actually standing. Yeah, he's standing on the.
Yeah, he was over there the whole time. He was over there behind, standing by Callis.
Oh, okay, my bad. My apologies.
What happened?
Oh, we made a mistake. We read into that statement wrong.
He's not leaving.
All right, Cage out with an injury. Okay, thank you.
There we go. Oh, Takeshita is out. Ospreay knocked him out last week. There's the cup.
Okay, with seeing Kyle Fletcher standing next to
What the
Murder
fuck,
Hawk,
man?
like, dude, Kyle Fletcher's a big dude.
Oh, he's a monster, man.
Imagine how much bigger he'd be if he put on more mass.
Yeah, you got to get that bulk on him. This is just this is a total cluster.
Now we got Roppongi Vice running in here for some reason, attacking Adam Page.
I don't even know who those boners are.
It's a New Japan tag team that's
Once you said Roppongi, I knew I just didn't recognize him.
Yeah, another one of those things that Tony expects everybody to know.
Well, I think that's the difference. And I think it is the case for a lot of your general fans. We were talking about comparison of the rosters. I could probably right away identify and tell you at least 75% of WWE's roster, NXT on up, as opposed to the AEW roster.
Yeah, it's like, who are these people?
Last Thursday, Trent and Rocky turned on Ishii for Don. See, I was watching that. I might have missed that. Was it early? Because I might have been recording 10 count.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I knew I saw the promo where they announced their reformation, like they're turning on Ishii. I did not know they aligned themselves with the Don Callis family.
Well, we got a little break here. Talk some other headlines. Obviously, some of the breaking news from WrestleMania surprised a lot of people, especially they were able to come to wraps. We didn't hear any rumblings about it, but WWE purchasing AAA. A lot of people immediately like, oh my God, El Patron. And then they released him today. Did you see that?
Yep.
Champ got fired. He was already on suspension. How you get fired on your day off?
Ain't trying to build a clubhouse.
On suspension for whatever the hell he did, and then he gets fired, gets released.
I'm pretty sure that had to have been a WWE call. Like, yeah, we know this dude's history. We've dealt with it. We ain't dealing with it again.
Yeah, it had been like one of those things. Like before that ink dried, they were already sending over the Future Endeavor letter to him.
Although I think a lot of it also might have to do with, or part of it might have to do with too, is if the rumors are true, it looks like Paige might be coming back to WWE.
Yeah, I wonder how much because that was a pretty intense, weird situation with them. I mean, in most cases, I know a lot of people freak out like, oh, so-and-so works here. I think that's over-exaggerated, but that could be a truth with those two because that was a pretty intense situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I think
there is just really a lot of just overall bad baggage that's just piled up with Patron.
Yep, and I just now remembered a rumor that was, I think it was on one of the locker rooms that it was talked about, or I think it was. Please don't quote me on this. This is how I remember it. I want to say it was Ben talking about how he had mentioned contacts of people he knew from Japan that Alberto had hooked up with a married woman very high up on the food chain. Extremely high up on the food chain in WWE.
Huh. Unless that was...
Well, I'll say this. Ring, no ring, ring, no ring.
What do you mean? Oh, shit. Yeah, that would definitely keep you out of the company. I don't know. I had never heard that one. At least on my end of the locker rooms, Ben had never said that to me. So it had to have been over on the Friday. If it was him.
Yeah, I think it was a Friday. So I want to say it was. Yes, I want to say the other guy in the room was MSG.
Yeah, it had to have been a Friday. I've never had that conversation with Ben. So, I mean, it might have been another host in there or something like that, but I haven't had one. People asking me some stuff here in my DMs, baby.
Oh yeah, so our belt. I forgot about the belt that Takeshita had. We are at 9 now.
Oh, we got the belt count going on?
Yep. And I think so right now, unless we get a swerve, I think Labrat's got it tonight. Let's see. Let's go back and yep, Labrat's at 9.
Well, do we double count? Do we double count belts or just first one appearance? So like we won't recount Tony's?
Yeah, just one appearance.
Well, we still could because we haven't had a Monet appearance yet. She couldn't.
That's true. Yeah, she.
Because this is going to be her challenger, whoever wins this.
Yep, and if she comes out, it would go to 13.
I was going to say that's going to sky. That almost double the damn thing.
Yeah, that's going to bust all of us. Nobody wins.
I think Hater, looks like she's smaller too since coming back off of her injury. All right, look, the girl's trying to get display of power here with them shoulder blocks. What's up with girls? Seems like there's a popular trend nowadays is those cleavage tattoos.
What's up with that, pal?
Cleavage tattoos, man, they're in, man.
Yeah, we need to give me Mini Monet.
Seems like playing her Hater's first AW World Championship, and then it was Storm that defeated Hater to win the title back. Now, I think that's extra motivation when you have a champion who you know you've beaten before, who you know you've had their number at one point in their career. I think Hater would be wise to not look past any opponent, especially one as talented as Chris Statlander. Statlander reversing the reversal on Hater.
Speaking of Mini Monet, like the most tolerable that Monet's been is when she's been in segments with Harley Cameron.
Well, Cameron came out a little bit of praise for Monet, because most people, like to dump on her. I think it's sometimes rightfully so. I mean, she just has that aura about her, just as a total bitch. But Harley credited Monet as the one that came up with the puppet gimmick.
Really?
She was on the Jericho podcast and credited Monet saying, hey, this, let's use this. You got this awesome skill. Go ahead, mimic me here. Vet and I go round and round on this. He's all about the pricing on it. I actually went and looked it up. You can go to Build-A-Bear and build a puppet for $110. And it's of good quality. And I'm not saying it's got to be the highest quality that we see on television, but come up with something. Maybe you're not even, you got to have some kind of puppet where you can stick your hand up its butt, but just essentially a nicer sock puppet. But they are missing out by not selling those things.
Oh, for real, yeah.
Vet and I go round and round on that one. So I guess he just thinks the price point is going to be like $500 or something. But yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about something that Jeff Dunham does with a puppet. I mean, it's just something stupid to get out there for the kids, you know. But you could probably sell that thing for $50 or something.
Yeah, you could get him you could get him easily mass produced for like what is it? Like what was the price again? Like 150 to get it made?
The one I looked, I found you could go to Build-A-Bear and build a Kermit the Frog puppet for $110.
Oh damn! Yeah, like you could get those made in bulk for probably less than half that. Sell them for 100.
People, these wrestling fans, man, they'll spend some damn money on some stuff.
I mean, we got 4 different belts for Triple H that they're selling.
What, like $4.99 a pop?
And people will buy it. They'll buy it.
Hey, they do. And I'm not going to hate on it. Some of the stuff doesn't make any sense to me, but if they got the disposable income, it's theirs to spend. If that's what makes them happy. But I still am, till the day I die, will make fun of any Mark Smart, Mark Tard idiot that takes their replica belts to shows. Drives me crazy.
They should be forced to defend them if they bring them to shows. Like 24/7 rules.
They should just be forced to. I ain't got to defend them. Just fucking get beat up anyway, nerds. Yeah, I'd be the only thing. Like, I wouldn't mind punching a few of them, but I don't want that nerd belt afterwards.
But you probably sell it online and get some coins for it.
I got to be walking around with it. I'm gonna go old school and just go throw it in a river. Ain't seen that in a while. Good old championship. We just get that like once a month. At least every 6 months, we'd get a belt thrown in a river.
More moments to yourself by getting something for them. Get a free 5G phone on us on America's most.
Last time I can remember anything getting thrown in a river in wrestling is when the Don of NXT had one of his dudes thrown in, and then 2 days later, the next day he was in Dynamite.
Yeah, that's how you write somebody off, pal.
Congratulations. Here's the water heater that somehow.
Yeah, where has Scorpio Sky been, pal?
Amazing talent. You think you're able to use him, but again, that's just one of those individuals kind of gets lost in the shuffle when you bring in these younger kids. I got to believe that he is working behind a stage somewhere in the company.
Yeah, get me Harold, pal. That's an old deep cut. He was you remember those Daniel Bryan Kane anger management segments that they did?
Yes.
He was in those as Harold, Scorpio Sky.
Yeah, I remember that. I do. Actually, out there in the archives, you can find it in the vault. There is a great mini series Jargo and I did with Scorpio Sky, where we just talked about the career, the times. Remembering Kobe Bryant was right after his passing. Big Lakers fan.
Nice.
Yeah, Sky was always very good to Jargo and I. Anytime we reached out, needed anything, he'd come on hitting the marks with us.
Well, that's cool. That's very cool, man.
We had a great rapport with Ring of Honor.
Oh, nice.
Well, it helped. Who was the gentleman that just passed away? That's as far as his name. Joe Cap that was the head of it. He was like the president.
Yeah, the guy who was like the head of Sinclair or whatever.
Well, not Sinclair.
Oh,
but
no.
the
original. Yeah. Okay.
He oversaw the Ring of Honor stuff, that department. But Jargo at the time worked for Sinclair as a master controlman. So one night, and he worked third shift. So he and I, and everybody knew my lifestyle back then. So I'd be out at the bar, and then we'd be talking, texting, talking wrestling, coming up with concepts for the show and all that. And I still remember we drafted the email to reach out to Joe, and we sat there for like 3 hours. Should we or shouldn't we hit send? Because he worked for Sinclair, so he had the email bank. So we just looked up the head of the company's email and just shot him off this big-ass email. And it grew into an amazing partnership. Anytime we needed something, we had Ring of Honor right there at our disposal.
Dude, that's awesome, man.
Got the match here. Who's going to be going on to the finals? Ladies' main event in tonight's Dynamite. Statlander, Hater, Don Stevens calling the match in the stripes.
I miss when Statlander was doing the alien thing. The alien gimmick.
It's something that just seems off with her. Like, this character doesn't really connect. I get the alien thing. You had to move beyond it, get a little more serious in your approach.
This is just kind of bland.
Even her ring gear is just bland. Playoff Palooza. That's what we got coming up. Saturday, immediately following the NBA playoffs, coast to coast. There you go. You got Fletcher and Hangman. Semifinals. The winner will be moving on to face Ospreay.
Semifinal action here tonight. Semifinal action 1 week from tonight. Kyle Fletcher, Hangman, Adam Page will move on.
And so there's one thing during some of the watch along, if you notice, like whenever Queen Aminata would wrestle, me and the rest of the chat would notice like there's something about her, like she seems to get it a lot better than most of the other women.
Trained right here in Ohio, Mid-Ohio Wrestling.
And yep, and as soon as like, and we're asking like, oh, who trained her? We went to go look it up. OVW. Okay, that makes sense.
Well, her actual training came from Mid-Ohio, Coach Avery up there, where she cut her teeth. And then, yes, she has gone down to OVW as like a finishing program. But a promotion Mid-Ohio. I can't remember Avery's first name. I'll look him up here real quick. But pretty well-respected trainer. It ain't Avery Hertz. Although he's a great young talent. Keep your eyes and ears out there for Avery Hertz. Great young talent from here in the Midwest. James Avery. That's where she went to. That was her first, I believe first, but that's where I know she really started coming into the picture, start working a bunch of promotions. They run Buckeye Championship Wrestling out of Mid-Ohio, the Norwalk, Ohio area.
Has no intention of finding out, grabbing the boot of Statlander. These two tremendous former champions here in AEW battling for a spot in the finals of the 2025 Hump Foundation tournament.
The Ohio Pro Wrestling Academy, where she was at.
Awaits the winner of this match.
All right, I got it. She might not even be in the building here. You know, Sue, it's got the advertisement for the beach break. It's in Chicago. I mean, I understand there's a beach there, Lake Michigan, but they have like their beach shows always at the weirdest spots. Remember when they had it like in Cleveland and the lake was frozen?
Yeah, in the middle of winter.
Right. How about that? Everybody's kind of expecting going back to the well, a rematch with Statlander. Jamie Hayter getting a big win. Former champion herself. I brings the crowd up now.
Okay, so we are at 9 belts. The show is not over. We might see Mercedes. Who knows?
There it is. CEO. Look at them boots. Legs looking good tonight.
All right, we all bust.
That's 13.
That's 13 belts. Nobody wins.
The house wins, baby. The house wins. It's the bust.
House always wins, pal.
All right, move set marks. You should like that one. Undisputed Era versus FTR this Saturday. All right, bud. Decent Dynamite. I enjoy this each and every week. I will admit it does, at times becomes a little background noise, but I make it through each episode. I don't change station. I find myself looking up quite often, intrigued by a lot of what's going on. So I'm not one of those that's going to dump all over AEW. Long ways to go, but I'm rooting for them. Always supporting them.
Yeah, they do serve their purpose as a decent alternatives number 2 promotion.
Want them to get better. I want them to get better, but they're all right. They're doing all right here. I'm glad they're in existence.
Agreed. Like their existence is good for wrestling.
All right, bro. It is 10 o'clock where I am at. That means it's RBV bedtime. Just I'll let Brantley know. Breakfast tomorrow is taco salad tomorrow for breakfast. I just eat whatever's left over from dinner. If it makes it that far. There is a good chance I will lay down, probably be up by 11. Good chance I wake up about 1:30, 2 o'clock, raid that fridge, and those tacos do not see the light of day.
Oh, you gotta go for that midnight snack, pal.
I'm a grazer. I don't eat a lot at one time, but I'll just sit there. What do we got up next? Oh, hockey. Stanley Cup coming up. All right, for the chat out there, thank you guys. Brandon, thank you. Thanks for thinking of me, sending me the link, man.
Oh, no problem. I'm gonna start remembering to send links for all these out to all you guys. Anybody wants to pop in, let's make it a party, pal.
Never know when we get the run-ins. Friday night, all depending on the weather here. I've got to watch SmackDown, so I might join you there. I'd like to invite everybody to join us Saturday morning for the Smack Attack, your Blue Brand review. I'm trying to mix it up. I'm sick of the same old reviews where we go segment by segment, so I'm trying some different formats there. For our new segments, we go to look at the social media instead of reading the headlines off the sheets. We spend our time during the week looking for across social media about who's talking shit to each other. And then we share those. And we talk about those beefs. And then we try to talk bullet points instead of segments. So we're trying something different over there. We invite everybody to join us on the Smack Attack.
Have you heard about some of the leaks coming out of the WrestleMania roast?
I have, dude. I love them. Some of them saying a little some heat though on some of the talents. Going in a little too deep, but that's
some of the Paul Heyman audio I heard was. Whoo.
Heard Nia went in hard on Charlotte.
Yeah, it went from being like okay personal jokes to being just flat out personal and mean.
Yeah. So I've always been one of those. A lot of people were freaking out. Believe me, I was so disappointed we didn't get that live. I'm a huge Kill Tony fan. I sit watch clips every day. Get as much of it as I can. I love the show, love the style. Just as disappointed as everyone we didn't get that thing live. I know eventually we're going to get it, and I think this is why. They knew what this might turn into, and it's going to be – by the time we actually get a copy of it, it's going to be so heavily edited. I don't know what we're going to get as opposed to the original.
I could see, like, after that they release that and let that marinate. Hey, guys, I want to see the full thing.
Wait a couple years somewhere down the line. Let that thing slip out.
And plus, it's business. Milk as much money off of one event as you can.
Absolutely, brother. All right, man. I am going to hit it here. Find something a little watch on the late night and get my ass in bed.
All right. Sounds good, pal.
All right. Maybe see you Friday. If not, man, hit me up those DMs. We'll chat it up. All right. Thank you, Brandon. Thanks to the chat, man. I am out of here.
All right. Later, pal. All righty. And to see what we got going on the rest of the week. Tomorrow, we got the TNA Impact Watch Along. Friday, of course, we got the SmackDown Watch Along. Saturday, it's HMG After Dark. Sunday, it will be a late start TNA Rebellion Watch Along. And, of course, Monday Locker Room Raw Watch Along, Impact Attack. But as far as tonight goes, we're keeping the party going, pal. In about 10 minutes, we're heading over to twitch.tv/LG Brandon Whoop Whoop. Going back to Chrono Trigger, picking up where we left off there, pal. So, yeah, go to the bathroom, get yourself something to eat, get yourself something to drink, go take a smoke break, whatever you need to do. And we'll see you there. Yeet, yeet. Take care, pal.